Okay, so this evening we're at number 2 in my countdown from number 31 all the way to number 1. This time it's a Russian band. I think it's the first Russian band I've talked about on this countdown. I don't like many Russian bands, but I absolutely love Stone Jesus and the April release now, Father Light. So as I say, it's been out a while. I liked it when I first heard it because I'm a fan of Stone Jesus. I've been listening to them since 2012 and they're a great band. The first thing I heard by them was Seven Thunders Raw, which I believe is their debut. They've got a handful of records out. Obviously this is the latest and it's absolutely superb. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. It's a stunning piece of work. It really is. So, who do we have in the band? We have, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the singer's name. There's no point. I'm not going to be able to do it. So, his first name, I can manage. Igor. Simple. Now, he does vocals and guitar, so he's the riff master. They're a three-piece. Then you have Sergei. Again, I'm not even going to pronounce his name, or attempt to. You have Sergei on bass. And then you have Dimitro Zinchenko on drums and backing vocals. That's a little bit easier. Now, these guys are from the Ukraine. And as I say, as far as I'm aware, they've been making music round about 10, 12 years, something like that. And it's kind of downbeat, but with a fury to it. That's the only way I can describe this rock band. It's heavy rock, quite downbeat, but with an aggression and a fury to it, particularly the vocals. And the singer, Igor, is able to transmit that kind of passion, that kind of fury brilliantly. And that's what makes them a little bit unusual. And there's nobody really quite like Stoned Jesus. Not really. They're kind of out there on their own. So as far as the actual music goes, it starts off with the title track Father Light, which immediately reminds me of Pink Floyd, because it's Igor and an acoustic guitar. It's as simple as that. 3 minutes of Igor and an acoustic guitar. It's a great song. Then you have Season of the Witch, which is the longest thing on the record and is a much heavier, much more downbeat song. Obviously it's about a witch, so you can see what the lyrics are like. Thoughts and Prayers. Now that's a much more, it's almost like Christian rock, that one. But good Christian rock, not rubbish. No, it doesn't become cheesy or schmaltzy or anything like that. It's just good, solid, cerebral lyrics. A song of hope. It's as simple as that. Then Porcelain, which has an amazing riff to it. Fantastic song. Very, very insistent riff and drum beat on that one. That's another quite long one for 8 minutes. Then you have Con, which is just a fun rocker, but great wordplay from Igor. Now I don't know who writes these songs, whether it's Igor or whether it's the whole band, I'm not sure. But this is a great fun, upbeat song. So there's all kinds of things on this relatively short record. It's not a double, it doesn't go on for 8 hours. It's just a 40-minute album, like the good old days in the 70s and the 80s. But there's a lot of variety on it, that's what I like about it. Then you have a thing that goes on for, the final thing goes on for about 9 minutes, and it's called Get What You Deserve, which is also absolutely superb. There's nothing on this record that I don't like. I love it all, I think it's superb. And the only reason that it's not higher up, even though it came out before the one that I'm going to choose tomorrow. The only reason it's not higher up is because I was a bit late to the party with Father Light, and so I've not heard it as often as my number one. That's the only reason, because this would be number one otherwise. It's a fantastic record. If you haven't heard Stone Jesus, then you need to hear them. They're an absolutely superb band. I don't hear much talk of them at all on the old tube. I don't hear much talk of them at all, which is a bit strange. And maybe it's because they're a Russian band and they only really seem to play festivals and at home. But you know, that's, you know, probably problems to do with travelling, etc. And obviously money. But this record is available on vinyl, and you should do the band a favour and buy it. Pay the postage, it's worth it, because this will sound fantastic on vinyl. Absolutely superb. So, it's the heavy riffing. It's for more gentler songs. It's for songs of hope. It's for dark lyrics. All that mixed into a wonderful bag of good old-fashioned rock. Quite loud. So as I say, it would sound better on vinyl. But everybody's quite loud nowadays. That's the way things are mastered. But it doesn't matter, because you can still enjoy it on a good pair of headphones. So I would say, if you haven't heard them, please do. You're doing yourself a favour. And it's all those things that I mentioned. The riffing, the dark lyrics, the more sort of upbeat lyrics, the more hopeful lyrics. And just Igor's voice is superb as well. He has such a range, it's brilliant. But all of that adds up to one superb record. And it's this much behind my number one, which we will talk about tomorrow. And so it's all those things added up that make Stone Jesus and Father Light, not the best sleeve in the world, I know, but don't judge a book by its cover, easily my number two for best rock records of 2023.